Let's see our next method of analysis for a finite slope, that is friction circle method, and it is used for a cohesive frictional soil. So in this method we try to find out the factor of safety as we did in the earlier methods, just the way we find out the factor of safety is different. So here also we assume slip surface which is having the shape of a circle, and we do the analysis. Here one more term which is coming is the friction circle. What is this friction circle? So we know that this soil is frictional in nature. So it means that when this soil mass which is there in this part A, B, C, A, when this try to move away on this slip surface, so because of this friction there will be frictional resistance. So let's say that this line P is the line of action of that frictional resistance, the resultant frictional resistance. Resultant frictional resistance. Now, according to this method, this line of action of resultant frictional resistance is tangential to a circle whose radius is r sine phi, and this circle is called as the friction circle. And one more property of this circle is it is concentric with our slip surface, that is the circle which is making our slip surface, it is concentric with the friction circle. So that is about the friction circle. More we'll see when we try to find out this frictional resistance. So what is this factor of safety? We want to find out the factor of safety. So this factor of safety can be written as total shear resistance divided by mobilized shear resistance. So what is the mobilized shear resistance along this surface? So if we divide that by total, or if we divide the total shear resistance by the mobilized shear resistance, that will give us the factor of safety. So from here tau m is equal to C plus sigma tan phi divided by factor of safety, and from here I can say that mobilized cohesion is equal to C upon factor of safety as we saw earlier, and similarly mobilized internal angle of friction is equal to tan phi upon factor of safety. Now we are trying to find out this factor of safety in this method. Now we assume a factor of safety, assume factor of safety for internal angle of friction, that is phi, and from there find out phi m. So using this formula tan phi m is equal to tan phi upon factor of safety, we can find out phi m because we assume factor of safety, we know the value of phi of the soil, so here we obtain phi m and draw friction circle. So friction circle is drawn with the radius of r sine phi, or it will be r sine phi m. And by following the analysis, do the analysis and find out the factor of safety against cohesion. So factor of safety for cohesion that we try to find out in this method. So factor of safety for cohesion can be written as total cohesion divided by mobilized cohesion. So total cohesion we know. If we can find out the mobilized cohesion, and then we divide the two, so there we can obtain the factor of safety against cohesion. Now this factor of safety against cohesion, if it is equal to factor of safety or assumed factor of safety, that is for internal angle of friction, if these two are coming equal, it means that our assumed factor of safety is correct, and that is our required factor of safety. Or if it is not coming equal, then we'll again assume some other factor of safety and we'll follow the same procedure. So the procedure, as I said, it is all about finding this value of mobilized cohesion, because that we don't know. Now what we do in this method, we take the equilibrium of three forces. What are these three forces? Weight of the soil mass, weight of the soil which is there above the slip surface, and second is this cohesive force, or the resultant cohesive force and resultant frictional force. So we find out the magnitude of weight, that is, just we know the weight, that is the magnitude, and direction obviously if it will be acting vertically downward because it is weight due to gravity. And cohesive force, for this force we will find out the direction and magnitude also, but we will find the magnitude in some other terms. And for this frictional force we will find out the direction. So using these three terms, if we know this is weight, so for this we know the direction and we know the magnitude, and for cohesion we know the direction. Similarly, for friction we know the direction. So using the direction of these two and direction magnitude of these two, we can draw this force triangle. And in this triangle, now when we have got this length, it is equal to our total cohesive force. Now this total cohesive force is also equal to some other quantity, that is equal to CMLC. That we'll see how this comes. And from here Cm is equal to C upon Lc. So our purpose is solved. We have got Cm like this. Now how do we do all this? Let's see that. So this is in brief, I have told that this is the thing that we do and how we do it. Now we take small arcs or elementary arcs of length delta L. Arcs of length delta L. Now the cohesion, we assume that mobilized cohesion is Cm, and so the cohesive force on elementary arc is equal to Cm delta L. Now here, so if we assume some elementary arc, so they will be having a force of Cm delta L. Now if we draw the force polygon, so it will come out something like this, similar to this circle. And force polygon has a property. The closing link of this force polygon shows the direction and magnitude of the resultant. In force polygon, the closing link shows direction and resultant of the force. So it means that direction of the cohesive force will be this, the direction of AC, and if the length of chord here is LC, so the total cohesive force will be CMLC. So that's what I was talking about. This is the total cohesive force, but we do not know Cm, so we do not know CMLC. Now first thing is solved, but now this we know the direction and we know the magnitude will be CMLC, but what is going to be the location of this force? So to find out the location, what we do, we take moments of elementary forces. So the sum of moments, sigma of moments of elementary forces about center is equal to moment of resultant force about center. Now let's say that this resultant force, which is having a magnitude of CMLC, I have shown with this green line, it is at the distance of A from the center, and we know that this elementary forces are at a distance of r because they are all acting at the radius of the circle. So if we write the moment about the center, so sigma of moments of elementary forces, so it is sigma cm delta L into r. So this is the force, total force into lever arm, which is equal to moment of resistance of the resultant. So what is the resultant? Cm into Lc. This is our resultant force, and the distance at which it is acting is equal to A, that we have assumed. So Cm delta L is equal to, if we do the sigma of delta L, it is equal to total length of this arc. So in this diagram, if these small arcs of length delta L, if we do the sigma of delta L, it will give us the total length of this arc AC, which is equal to L, let's say. And so from here, this is CML into R, it is equal to CMLCA. So from CM will cancel out, and A is equal to L upon LC into R. Now we know that L is greater than LC because L is the length of arc and LC is the length of chord. And for the same arc, the length of chord is smaller and length of arc will be bigger. So here, from this CG of the weight or the CG of this area, we draw the weight. So we draw the magnitude of this weight in the vertical downward direction, and we know the direction of this cohesive force. So this green line shows the direction of the force, and we know its location. It is having a distance from the center of this circle. So at this point we have drawn our cohesive force. Now the only force which is remaining is the frictional force. Now as I said, this frictional force, the line of action of this frictional force is tangential to a circle, that is our friction circle. So from that we draw this frictional force. We draw it in such a way that it is intersecting these two forces, that is weight and cohesion, and it is tangential to the friction circle. So that way we can draw the resultant frictional force, and then we can draw this force triangle. Let me draw it here again. So this vertical line shows the direction and magnitude. Now from this point we can draw our frictional force. We know the direction of this frictional force from our earlier discussion. So this is the direction. We don't know how long it will go something like this. Now third force is our cohesive force. So for that also we know the direction, and we know that it will start from here. So here we draw our cohesive force. Now this length is our total cohesion C, and we also know that total cohesion C is equal to Cm into Lc. As I said earlier, that this total cohesion comes out to be equal to Cm Lc because using this force polygon. So here I have shown it is equal to Cm Lc, and so from here Cm is equal to C upon Lc, and that's what we required. We have got the mobilized cohesion. Now we can find out the factor of safety for cohesion as C upon Cm, and if this factor of safety against cohesion is equal to factor of safety against internal friction, then our analysis is correct, or otherwise we repeat the procedure. So that's it for this one. So I want to add some more points in our discussion of friction circle. So this method, as I said, we do for a C5 soil. So let's suppose we consider this point. So due to the weight of the soil or the component of the weight, it will be trying to move this soil along this shear plane or this plane, and this frictional resistance will come into picture due to the normal reaction. So this normal reaction will be applied from here and from the opposite side also due to the particles at this point. And so we define our angle of friction such that, so initially in shear strength I showed that if this is a friction block, here we are applying our shear force and from here there is some normal reaction. So the angle between resultant and normal is our internal angle of friction. So similarly, angle between here, this is the shear force, this is the direction of normal force, because it will be in the direction of radius vector. So the angle between, if this P is the resultant, so angle between radius and P, this angle is phi. Similarly, here this angle is phi. So if we see this triangle OTQ, let me draw it here. So this Q point is here, this angle is phi, and T point is here and O is here, and this OQ is radius. So if we try to find out this OT, what will be OT? OT we can write as sin phi is equal to OT upon R. So from here OT is equal to R sin phi, and that is the radius of this friction circle. So from here we say that if we draw a circle of this radius, so the resultant will be tangential to this circle. So from here that point comes. So this thing I wanted to add. So this is true for any small elementary arc or elementary point, but for as a resultant force it is not completely true. So we did it for the P force here, so it is not completely true for this force P that it is tangential to this circle, but the error which comes, it is small or it is neglected. So this finishes our discussion of friction circle method.